everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing another get ready with me. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be a little bit of a rushed get ready with me, I won't lie. Basically, today is Dom's birthday and I wanted to do a little get ready with me whilst talking about something that's quite important to me, that I wanted to sort of bring a little bit of an awareness to as such, because not a lot of people, I feel like people are aware of it, but at the same time, not. Oh my, is that the lighting, or is that I've got something on my shoulder? I don't know, but my hair's going to cover it regardless. I'm wearing a play suit today, you know, the Moose Lover play suit. It's Dom's favourite thing on me, so I'm wearing it, but I'm also like, it's like 17 degrees outside. Do I wear it, or I don't know, but I've tried about 10,000 things on this morning and then decided that it's not good enough and then resorted back to the play suit. So yeah, I'm having a great time. It's going to be speedy, hopefully. Get ready with me. And I'm going to be talking about water infections. I know it's not the best subject to talk about, but I just wanted to talk about my experience with them and basically how I've managed to get rid of them. So it all started off when I was being diagnosed with PCOS, because I've also got PCOS. They did a scan on my ovaries and my kidneys and, you know, anything else in the general area. And they actually said to me that I'd got some scarring in my kidneys. And I was like, oh, that's strange. So they asked if I'd had any water infections as a child, or as they call them, UTIs. I asked my mum and I asked my dad. If you know me personally, you'll know that my mum and dad have been separated since I was about 3. So I had to ask them individually, and they both said not that I know of. And then a few years down the line, I experienced my first water infection. I didn't know it was a water infection at first. I actually messaged my mum and was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. It's hurting just like when I finish weeing, and I don't really know what it is. And she said, it sounds like a water infection. Go and get yourself some sachets from Tesco. She means the cystitis sachets that you can get in like a pack of 6. And she said, hopefully that will solve your problem. So I was like, okay, that's fair enough. Got my sachets, and I was absolutely fine. So they worked on me and it went, and that was it for ages. And it was only when I moved into the flat with obviously my partner Dom that I then started to get them more and more regular. I think probably after about a year or so from moving in, I then started getting them like every 2 weeks, and I didn't know what was wrong. So obviously went to the doctors, said my symptoms, which were normally, you know, burning sensation when going to the toilet, more urgency going to the toilet, frequency going to the toilet. I used to get like a pain, like just a constant ache. And they were sort of like, well, you shouldn't be getting this many infections. Let's test your urine. And then they told me that they couldn't actually find an infection in my urine sample. So I was like, well, what's going on then? So they would only prescribe me a 3-day course of antibiotics. I can't even remember what the antibiotics were called, but basically they didn't clear it up completely. And I think that's the reason I was getting them every 2 weeks, because it was just the same one coming back over and over and over again. I'm not gonna lie, it got me down. It got me, I wouldn't call it depressed, but it started affecting my life. I started not doing what I would normally do because I was scared that I was going to get an infection. and I wouldn't have a toilet nearby. It would stop me from going out with my friends because, again, I was scared that I'd need the toilet or that I'd have like a random attack, because a lot of the time it would be at night that I'd notice like a pain, but then some days I'd wake up with the same ache and it would be like at the weekend and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So yeah, I would cry endlessly to Dom and be like, I can't cope with this anymore. This needs to stop. So I went from a person that would use bath bombs in every single bath to not even having baths because I was scared that if I sort of even rubbed anything in that area, that it would cause me an infection. The doctors told me to stop eating anything acidic, which I didn't realise quite how many foods were acidic. So you've obviously got your fruits that are all quite acidic. So I used to eat loads of tomatoes, loads of strawberries, loads of grapes, even cucumbers acidic, and I didn't know that. So I basically stopped eating fruit because I was absolutely petrified that even if I had 3 grapes, it would give me a reaction. And it got to the point where I started telling family that I wasn't allowed to eat like tomatoes and stuff because I react to them. I can't eat them anymore. And it's annoying because before all of this started, I did actually eat quite healthy. I did eat a lot of fruit and, you know, a lot of tomatoes, and I had what I thought was a balanced diet. Still to this day, I'm absolutely petrified and I will only have like 3 or 4 tomatoes in one go, but I don't have them often at all. So yeah, it was a bit rubbish. So I got told to stop using bath bombs. I got told to stop using any sort of products. I got told that female washes and intimate products are an absolute no because they affect your pH balance. And your body is supposed to do that like itself, like control it. So yeah, I was getting them, if not every month, then like every 2-3 weeks, and it was ridiculous. So yeah, I was getting upset. I wasn't able to do stuff that I wanted to do. If I didn't have a pack of cystitis sachets in my house, just in case I did get like a flare up, it would really put me on edge, especially at the weekend. I remember actually having a really anxious day on like a Sunday, and I thought to myself, like, Tesco shut at 4. At this point I didn't have a car, and I thought I need to leave the house at this time to get to Tesco in time to get my cystitis sachets. If I don't get them, I'm in the shit basically. So yeah, it was a really, really stressful time. I wouldn't wish it upon anyone at all because it was just absolutely horrendous. And it was only until I started, I wouldn't have had a whole week off work because they prescribed me a 10-day antibiotic course in the end of like really strong tablets. And obviously, if you're a tablet taker, you will know, an antibiotic taker, you will know that a lot of them you have to eat with them, or it says like eat before or eat after. And I have obviously figured it out now, like how my body works. But before, I was eating, I think it was after, and I felt so ill. I was literally in bed feeling so dizzy. I was obviously crying to Dom. Dom rang his mum at one point and said, I don't know what to do. She's just in tears because she feels so sick. And yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. So I got pulled up on it at my old job at work, and they were like, you need to put up with it basically. I had someone at work that wasn't the nicest. I can't believe I'm saying this because they may possibly see that. She basically said like, I get water infections as well, but you don't see me having loads of time off work. And I was a bit like, well, people are different. Every individual is completely different. You don't know how painful mine are, and I don't know how painful yours are, so you can't really say anything. Yeah, basically some people that thought I was just using it as an excuse to have time off work, which I definitely wasn't. I mean, do you think I really want to lose like a load of money being off sick? Because I don't. So yeah, it was a really rubbish time of my life and it made me very sad, but I got past it, and I asked my doctors if they could refer me to the hospital, which they did. I did my research, like a lot of research, and for a good few months I convinced myself that I'd got interstitial cystitis, where it was basically like cystitis for life, which really upset me, obviously, because I did not want that for the rest of my life. Obviously, some people do have it, which I am very fortunate that I don't. And I was reading up on it, and it was like, you need to have surgery, all of that. So then I got in a panic about that, because if you know me, I don't do well with stuff like that, even though I've had a 9-hour operation on my back, but you know, we won't go there. Yeah, so it was a very stressful time. I'd got myself in a right tizzy with it all. I got an STD or an STI test ran on me. That obviously came back negative. I didn't have one. You know, lots and lots of questions were involved. I got sent for another scan on my bladder and my kidneys, in which they said that my bladder was emptying absolutely fine. I just kept getting them. I was poorly on the way back home from my last holiday, because towards the end I got a water infection. It made me really scared to drink anything, to eat anything, and in the end I passed out because I'd not drank enough, I'd not ate enough, I felt sick and I was ill. So yeah. Then I had another consultation where they told me that they were going to, well, they asked me questions and I said my trigger points, all that, and what I thought on my trigger points. And they decided, because I had seen blood on a tissue when I wiped after I'd had a wee, that they were going to send me for a cystoscopy, which is basically a camera up your urethra. They said that they wanted to do this just to check that everything was okay, and if I needed my urethra expanding, which was like, what? And I thought to myself, even if I had to have my urethra expanded, absolutely not. Even though obviously if I had to have it done, I would have, because I was in so much pain. So yeah, this went on for months and months and months. And then I went to my last consultation, which was in February. I think it was February. And I had a really nice guy, and he said, right, you've got two options. You can either self-medicate by getting something off of Amazon, which was a bit like, sorry, what? And he said the D-Manos. I mean, I have got a container of it somewhere, but I noticed that when I did take it, it made me feel absolutely awful. When I say awful, I mean awful. Like, I had no energy. I felt rubbish, and I thought, I can't keep taking them. So I think I took them for about 2 or 3 days, and then I stopped because I was like, no. So I think I would only take them in an absolute emergency. And he told me that I could get these off Amazon for like a tenner. So I got them myself. He said the second option would be to go on a prescription medicine. Let me go get it. And this medication is called Hyprex. You may have heard of it. A few of you have said, well, one of my friends have said in the back of my videos before, she's seen a bottle that looked familiar, and it was this. This has been a lifesaver. So he told me Hyprex is basically an antiseptic. It makes your wee antiseptic, basically. You're supposed to take it twice a day. I don't. I don't get symptoms now every day. I will get them maybe once a week, twice a week, sometime, and that's on a bad week. On a good week, I don't actually need to take them, but I have not now had an infection since November last year. So November, December, January, February, March, April, May. I've not had one. Oh my God, I've not had one in 6 months. Ta-da! Absolutely amazing stuff. I take it if I have eaten one of my trigger foods, or if I've done something that I think may trigger. He did say that intercourse could trigger it. He said food could trigger it. He said that bath bombs will definitely trigger it, because they are literally packed with like chemicals and stuff that you are literally putting like around that area. So I have completely stopped using bath bombs. I've still got loads to use from like birthdays and Christmases and stuff. So every now and again at the end of my bath, I will stand up and I'll put one in just so I can see the colours and like smell the bath bomb, rather than having it like around my area, my no-no square. My friend, like my best friend, who I've been close with since primary school, she also went through a phase where she just kept getting more infections, and she's on the same thing and they work amazing for her. I'm not saying by any means that they're going to work for everyone. They probably won't work for everyone. But Hyprex is basically a tablet that turns your urine like antiseptic, and so it won't sting when it comes out. And it's also to basically kill any bacteria that you have in you before it starts up into an infection, or like grows into an infection basically. So yeah, I have my next consultation in September, which hopefully I won't have another water infection before then or after then. Hopefully I'm now completely finished with them. But yeah, amazing stuff. So yeah, long story short, if you feel like there's something that you want to get checked out, or that you feel like you need to be referred to hospital, please, please, please beg your doctors. I know a lot of people still suffer to this day, and I know a lot of doctors just won't listen, but just keep going, because it took me a long time, and it took a year from me asking to be referred to me actually having to get an appointment. But I got there, it all worked out, and now this bottle here saves my bacon. So yeah, I'd highly recommend. Oh, just need to straighten my hair. There we go, that's better. I forgot to actually say the reason why I kept getting more infections. The doctor couldn't figure it out. He said that he didn't know. He said at my age it could be anything from intercourse to hormones. So yeah, I have a lot of hormones. Yeah, you just don't know. So yeah, that's pretty much it really. I know I've probably missed out a lot in this video about my story, but obviously I don't want to bore people with the details. If you are struggling, if you're watching this because of your own water infection problem, please feel free to message me. I'm not a doctor, but I can sympathise with you. I can try and help you out as much as I can. If you're just here because you're subscribed to me, and I've posted this, then thank you for listening to my story. People don't realise how common water infections are. I mean, I've had, probably not hundreds, but it feels like hundreds. But then you could talk to my next door neighbour and she probably hasn't had one before. You just don't know. Some people are prone to them for no reason. Some people have like a bout of them. Some people have chronic water infections. It really depends on the person, but I wouldn't wish it on my own worst enemy. In fact, I would. No, I'm joking. That is the end of today's video. I'd say I really hope you enjoyed it, but it's probably not something that people enjoy listening to. It's not a nice subject, but there is worse out there, I suppose. But thank you so much for watching. Please comment below if you enjoyed or if you've got any tips or, anything. Let's make the comments section a little community for everyone. And don't forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.